We're here in Wollongong as the Hawks get the tip. And Ayinda Ubaka. He's got pressure from Idris De Leon. Nice dribble penetration, kicks it to Oscar Foreman. They know the seriousness of closing out on him. Saville. Shot clock down to 5. Got to look for something. Tries to turn the corner. Fall away from the old number 12 is short.
Tough shot to start the game by Glenn Saville. And that's the sort of problems that the Hawks have had against the Gold Coast Blaze. The Gold Coast Blaze just defensively bullying the Wollongong Hawks. And then we see an off-the-ball foul. And forcing him into tough shots like that first one. You can see there was a concerted effort by the Hawks. Just as they don't want to get in an up-and-down running game, and they don't want the tempo to get out of their control. So the best way to do that is what they're doing on offensively.
Oscar Foreman comes up short. Will Hudson had some good pressure on him as Petrie turns the corner and drives, gets past Catron, and we got our first score of the game.
That would be a real concern for Gordy McLeod, that, although we were early into the game, Petrie just blowing by Catron for an easy layup. No pass offense.
Extra pass goes to Saville. He hesitates, comes up short. Reese Martin pulls down the offensive rebound. Hawks spread it out as they do so well. Saville again. Give it a little bit more and got the result he wanted.
Is he making a statement here tonight as well? Already 3 field goal attempts for Glenn Saville. And just coming out and all outside of that first one, the last 2 good looks, open looks.
Petrie. Catron draws a body contact. That might be what they're going at, because Petrie did not hesitate in transition. And that time it looked like as soon as he got the ball, everybody expected him to go on him.
Well, that's right, Steve. You get a good indication when it's so blatant like that at both ends of the floor of what the strategy would be. And I don't think it's by accident that we've seen Glenn Saville come out and take 3 shots in the first minute and a half of the game. And I don't think it's an accident that Anthony Petrie is at the line with 2 explosive moves to the basket, testing that man on your screen, Javon Catron. Javon Catron has got vast experience, great college career at the University of Oregon.
The Ducks.
And he knows how to use that big body of his, particularly down low.
And he's got the ball now against Hudson. A little more mobile than the big man from the Gold Coast. Saville with the ball again. Creates a little space on Petrie, yes. He's going right at Anthony Petrie.
Vintage Glenn Saville.
Hudson just shoots over the top on that layup, and it's Petrie with the offensive rebound. So Saville and Petrie very active here in the early stages.
Steve, the Wollongong Hawks, they are last in many statistical categories on the NBL, but the one that would be concerning the most is that rebounding. You see Catron down low. And their work on the glass this season has been below expectations.
Yeah, very below. De Leon, the master at creating space for himself, but comes up long on the three-point jumper.
Oh, not only is it a foul off the ball, it's an unsportsmanlike foul being called off the floor. It's called on Idris De Leon for throwing the elbow, courtesy of Reece Martin.
Yeah, and he raised his hand quickly like, you know what, I got a couple more of those in the bag if that's how you want to play it.
Never saw it, but Roger Shields called it and behaved in a way as if there might have been a little... Oh, you just saw it at the top of your screen there, just ever so slightly.
Well, they bumped into each other initially at about half court, and then that was the second one. Roger Shields refereeing his last game here in Wollongong. Got a rare cheer from the crowd. A referee just doesn't get that.
No, they don't, and nor should they, really. They're there to officiate. People don't come to see the referees. We've got respect for them.
It was a respectful cheer.
Correct.
The Wollongong crowd.
off the ball foul again, and this would be delightful for Gordy McLeod. He was measured, but in the press, he was making comments about the physical nature and the way the Gold Coast Blaze have gone about it. And already we've seen a couple of touchy ones off the ball. Not to say that the De Leon one was touchy, but those off-the-ball fouls will be helpful to Wollongong's cause if the game's opened up a little bit.
Reese Martin comes up short on that three-point attempt. Petrie for three. That's off the mark. Ball goes off the leg of Reese Martin. It carries back to him. Saville looking for Catron. Catron is short from the baseline. Team struggling from the field. Seen that. We had a miserable weekend last weekend for shooting percentage.
The Wollongong Wolves have made the change. They've got Catron on Stephen Hall and put Oscar Foreman on Petrie. So mixing it up, giving him a different look.
Good defensive pressure that time from Wollongong as he check out the field goal percentage of both teams in the 30s. But it's early.
With the new coach in the helm, the Sydney Kings will be coached by Shane Hill for the rest of the night. Well, make sure you keep that game. It'll be a lot of fun in the house.
Ayinde Ubaka has the ball ripped. Looking for a teammate, Oscar Foreman. He's got those feet set. The crowd wasn't used to seeing him miss any of those. 7 for 7 last time he was here. Gibson turns a corner. Can't get the layup to go. It'll go out to Wollongong. He's got a little extra pressure on him as he turned the corner for that driving layup. He did enough to discourage him.
He did, but early on, the Gold Coast plays very terminal in the half court. Everyone putting it to the floor, not a lot of motion. And that was something also Joey Wright was a little concerned in their loss last weekend against Townsville, how he just actually charted it, and apparently 42 times they came down with either a no-pass or a one-pass offense. As we see the big fella with a little shimmy.
Didn't he? Yeah. Was definitely a nice move. Talk about creating space for yourself. Shot clock going down. He was able to come up with that. De Leon, a nice pass to Petrie. Well-executed play.
Well, that's the difference, isn't it, Steve? And you wonder when you see the result and the ease at which they create a scoring opportunity. It took 4 or 5 passes to get that far, loosen up the defense, and you get that. You just wonder why they don't persist with that a little bit more often. Sure, you want to explore the transition, those early basket opportunities, but early on, it seemed like the anxiety levels were off the scale with the Gold Coast Blaze, and everyone just trying to make something happen off the penetration. But that was a terrific half-court set.
Well, sometimes, Andrew, when you're playing well, you kind of forget why you're playing well. You just kind of go out there and you're encouraged to just let the game come to you, feel the game, where obviously through sets of hands and be able to execute it is the way to do it. Matt Campbell back into the game. His three-pointers off the mark. Larry Davison also into the game for the Hawks, looking for Ayinde Ubaka. As he backs down Jason Kadee. It's too big for him down the block.
It is too big and too experienced. Jason Kadee, he looks like he's spent some time in the weight rooms, but still got a long way to go. And when the much stronger and more experienced Ayinde Ubaka is down low, they might have to send a little bit of help down there.
Hawks on top, 12-9 over the Gold Coast Blaze.
KFC's popcorn chicken snack box with real mouth-watering chicken pieces and your favourite chips now comes with an icy cold drink for only $4.50. So hurry into KFC today and fill up on a great deal. So good.
Car insurance due? Pay less with Budget Direct or get $100. You could save a shipload.
Budget Love. Budget Direct car insurance. Set this screen, he's coming off this Mungo, look it off, swing it back, look to dump it in. Worlo, get a quick one. Okay, get a quick one. Go. Here we come off the middle peak before we go to the corner. And then we got the corner.
Oh, they're still talking.
Yeah, opposite ball. That time the ball was in on the twice already. That corner's got to come meet that. That's just that middle. Hey, what you say? If you guys can shoot the 4-man up.
Very busy timeout by Joey Wright and the Gold Coast Blaze. Just 9 points here. Shooting the basketball at 37%. You know, Andrew, as we're driving down the Princess Highway in some horrible traffic from Sydney today, that was one of the things we talked about was, you know, the Gold Coast Blaze are talking about how their defense wasn't intense as it was over the 5-game winning streak. But how about the offense? Man, they didn't really talk about their offense much, but they shot in the 30s. Maybe I ought to address that a little bit.
Most certainly, and sure, you got to play some good defense, particularly if you want to contend for a title, but you also got to put the ball in the hole. And they weren't able to do that against the Townsville Crocs. They had they were held to just 66 points, and as you said, men only shooting in the mid-30s. But this down low, Mark Worthington's going to be a good option for them.
Speaking about
tonight.
bullying,
he
just bullied Sappel on that one.
And the Wollongong Hawks are only shooting at 37% tonight, and the Gold Coast Blaze, Wollongong at 41. But of their 12 shots they've had already, 5 of them come from the three-point line. So that's usually an indication of your defense is pretty sound when you can force teams to those and keep them on the perimeter. That's a good sign for the Gold Coast Blaze and what they've been able to do on the defensive end.
Pressure, Wollongong breaks it easily. Larry Davison gets it. Good pass from Glenn Saville.
And that's good to see as well, the Wollongong Hawks attacking the press more with the pass than it was with the dribble.
Quick shot by the Blaze. Stephen Hoare misses that one. Here comes Wollongong. Now they're calling this game very tight.
Are they ever? And you just like to see it consistent, and not just consistent in this game, but consistent from week to week. And the way the Gold Coast Blaze play, they test the limitations of the officials. They're up and in, they're extending that harassing pressure defense. And certainly that will have an impact on how they play, will be how the officials call it.
Golding into the game for Gibson. Ubaka. That pass was never going to get through there. Golding turns the corner. Bounce pass to Garlick. No call. Roger Shields saying the defense was straight up and down. Good no call. I like that. Gruber. Oh, limited time this year. Terrible pass, and Mark Worthington in the passing lane lays it up and in. And that's what happens when that pressure gets it into a ball carrier's hands that's not comfortable with it. Matt Campbell to Larry Davison.
And if they can do that, we saw it a couple of minutes ago where they just broke the press down, got an easy layup again that time, broke the press. If you can do that and get some easy baskets, it makes the Gold Coast Blaze really think about that strategy if they're going to give up those easy transition baskets. There you see Mark Worthing going in for the easy one.
Yeah, that's the end of Dave Gruber handling the basketball. You want your bigs, you want them to catch it, put 3 hard dribbles down, pick it up before they get to half court. But maybe make that a rule, and as they're making those 3 dribbles, then the other ball carriers got to make themselves available to the guys that are going to make decisions against pressure.
Correct. And you don't mind, provided the big fellas have got it in the back court, you don't mind them having it because they've got that size they can generally pass over the defense. But when they start trying to dribble through it, the coach has got his heart in his mouth, and Mark Worthington splashes out another relatively easy 2. Steve, when you think about this Wollongong Hawks team and the struggles they've had this season, they too have not been able to put points on the board. They're second last in points per game. And Larry Davidson is one area where they look at for this remaining games. They need to get a lot more out of him. He's been a great player the last couple of years, but this season his numbers are well down. He's gone from averaging 10 points and 8 rebounds to 6 and 4. That's quite a significant drop-off in his production for the Hawks.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, he's not the Lone Ranger on net. I mean,
no.
Looking at him, through a microscope right now, but, the whole team, has struggled. Jason can be way off the mark on that jump shot. But he hits the rim at least, and they get a reset on the shot clock. Golding to Worthington. Stephen Hoare hands it off to Worthington. Three-point shot from deep. Comes up short. Conrad with the board. Martin to Davison. Matt Campbell catch and shoot from the corner. That's good. Wollongong, any kind of contact, they are really hamming it up tonight.
Matty Campbell, he spread eagle on the floor after that three-point shot, trying to milk an extra ball. And there's a little touch on the elbow. Send Goulden to the line to shoot a couple.
That was that old veteran. He tried to just flick it right at the last second. But I don't think he really needed to, because Golding, it was falling away, hanging. That was going to be a tough shot to make. And now he bails him out, gets to the line for two.
The Hawks have got the lead. They lead at 18-15, but just the way the play's been going, Gold Coast just look more athletic. They look younger and sprightly, whereas it's
anything else?
A little labored. And I say that with knowledge that the Hawks have got the lead.
You don't have to put the precursor on it.
Because but you just
the disclaimer.
Get a sense for what could possibly happen, and you can, for mine, without seeing too much of their earlier contests, in which the Gold Coast players have dominated, you can see why they might have dominated.
You see how that pressure gets Larry Davison to bring the ball up the floor. They're getting it out of the good ball carrier's hands. Get it out of Ubaka's hands. Get it out of Martin's hands. And Tommy Garlip just didn't slide those feet. I caught kind of leaning that knee out. But I agree with you. Sometimes people say, hey, how do you guys pick it when you say a team is down, but you feel like it's going to be lopsided in their favor? You can just feel it. You can see it. A team might be executing plays and missing easy shots, but the way they're going about their offense is, you kind of get that feeling right now.
Long way to go, and the Hawks well and truly would look at this first quarter and say, job well done, given the touch-ups they've got the last couple of times they've played.
Tease into the game for the Blaze. Garland driving hard on David Gruber. Blaze patient on that exchange, spreading the floor out, looking for that mismatch. Tommy Garlip on the rip-through believes he can get to the rim on David Gruber when he's 17 feet from the basket.
And the Blaze already have had all 10 players on their roster see court time already tonight. Not unusual for the Blaze. They share their minutes around. Worthington, DeLeon, and Adam Gibson are the prime movers, but all their players get a bit of a look in. But given the way they play, the energy required, off the ball foul this time on Larry Davison, going after that rebounding contest. But given the way the Gold Coast plays, you kind of need to do that if you're going to run full court extended defense for 40 minutes. Yeah. Ubaka coming in for Matty Campbell. It's going to be a real interesting off-season for the Wollongong Hawks. Their playoff aspirations are done for this season. But they got some tough decisions on guys like Matty Campbell, Glenn Saville. Dave Gruber would be another one you'd put in that category.
It's not a problem. I mean, it is something that's happened. It's not uncommon. You know, teams will, you know, go with that core of players, maybe a little too long, but, I mean, you sure don't want to not let it have the years and get the best out of them. I mean, we've seen it with teams in the NBA, you know, the question mark about the Celtics and their core three guys. Golden gets the steal. And what a finish. Nice. You know, you talk about the athleticism, that's one of those right there. Not only getting the steal, but being able to get the athletic finish.
Wollongong have done a pretty decent job. It's only their third turnover, but already two of those three have come at the expense of relatively easy transition layup, although Chris Goulding made a pretty tough move look easy on that occasion.
Joey Ryan just cannot understand how this game's being officiated right now. It's getting Wollongong to the line and keeping them in the game.
Giving Roger the big stare.
Well, even though the Blaze have been to the line 11 times, the Wollongong have been to the line.
Indeed, the Blaze are one of the leading free throw shooting teams in the competition.
Garland for a long three at the end of the first quarter.